on the call tonight, on the Zoom tonight, I guess. We have Timothy Steves, who's the founding violinist and director of finance and development. Timothy, you want to?
Hi, I'm Tim. First of his name. I'm coming to you from Vancouver, Canada right now.
Sweet. Max Geisler, cellist and co-artistic director.
Hi, everybody. I'm Max. I play the cello. I'm in St. Louis right now, although I actually live in Houston. I'm seeing my parents. And even though it says, like, co-artistic director, I think my real job is just finding reasons to give disapproving glares to Tim Steves.
Sweet. Andy Hudson, clarinetist and co-artistic director.
Hey everybody, coming to you from Greensboro, North Carolina, where the weather just dipped below 55, so I spent the afternoon chopping firewood.
And we have
Get out of
Andy
here
Hall.
with that.
Yeah, that's exciting. Andy Hall, saxophonist, webmaster, and on-site chef.
I'm calling from Ann Arbor, Michigan, where it's a lot colder than that, and my garden just completely died last night from a frost.
And we'll see Andy in action, Chef Andy in action, in just a little bit. Jamie Parsons, pianist and executive director, with us.
Hi everyone, I'm calling in from Waco. Really nice to have you all here.
And Chris Size, percussionist and technical director.
Hey everyone, Chris here, also coming from Waco. Jeannie and I are in the same house, but we're in separate rooms. We not only did that to make things easier on the technical front, but also so it makes us look cooler with more windows.
Awesome. So I'd also like to introduce Jake Wolin, who is the president of Latitude 49's board. Jake is a conductor, cellist, and tenor residing in Vienna, Austria, so it's probably about midnight there, right? And whenever he's back in his native United States, Jake is often to be found at Opera Theater of St. Louis, where he is the assistant conductor, and he's led workshops for newly commissioned works. And he's also a founding member of Latitude 49. So Jake, welcome.
Thank you so much, Tyler, and it's great to be here. It's great to see so many of you here. You know, Latitude has always really been about family.
Oh, there's
Andy! And so it's great to just see, you know, we talked often as a group about what it was that sort of set us apart, what our brand was. And it so often came back to this idea that as an ensemble, we were family. And I was so happy to have the opportunity when I left the sort of nuclear family of the group as the cellist to stay on as the sort of extended family and to kick off the creation of Latitude's board. And so it's been such a pleasure for me to be able to stay in touch with these amazing people and to assemble this incredible group that we have of my fellow board members. And I would love to just quickly, I'm not sure how many of them are here, but I'd love to quickly, as the board president, just introduce my amazing colleagues. We have Bonnie Lin, who is our wonderful secretary and does much more than just being a secretary. She is so full of vim and vigor in addition to vox and vire, and has great ideas and really wonderful supportive personality. We have Bill Malone. Bill, are you there?
I am here. Hello.
Hey. So Bill is an incredible Grammy-winning sound engineer, works for Sadie Records in Chicago, does incredible work, and we were so lucky to have his generous support and assistance on making the record. So a big thank you to Bill for all that you do on the board and specifically for your amazing contribution to this record. Your fingerprints are really all over it. So thank you.
It was my pleasure. It was a lot of fun, and I think it's pretty spectacular.
Yes, indeed. We have Scott McAllister. Scott here. I think, yeah, Scott is a wonderful composer on the faculty at Baylor, along with Janie and Chris, and brings a real sense of humor. If you're not friends with him on Facebook, I definitely recommend it. He brings many laughs into my life with his witty posts, and just a great guy and a really supportive presence for us. We have Jack Kinsey, who I believe his connection to the group was through Andy Hall. I think they studied saxophone together at Michigan. He's now a lawyer and has been an incredible help to us with his legal expertise and his general competence and know-how. Jack, are you here?
I think Jack and Bonnie Lynn are both working at this very
Okay.
moment.
Well, yeah, our attendance is generally better than this at board meetings, I can assure that. Yeah, and then we have two members of the ensemble, which also serve on our board. That's Tim, who is indispensable as a master of puns and also as our finances director. Tim, thank you for all that you do for us. And then a huge thank you to the inimitable, incredible Janie Parsons, who just embodies Latitude. And, you know, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your incredible spirit and your intrepid spirit of adventure. And so thank you, Janie. And I just want to say, as a former member of the group and now looking on from afar from Vienna and on the board, I just want to say how proud we all are and how excited we are that you have produced this incredible recording, and what an exciting moment it is. So congrats to the ensemble, and it's wonderful to be here to celebrate this with all of you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jake. And yeah, I think I speak for everyone on this call. We wish we could be in person doing this. Maybe one day there'll be a re-release party. And so, yeah, I think ideally we'd be hanging out in person, having snacks and drinks right now, you know, probably live music and all that fun stuff. Which I guess there's really nothing stopping us from having snacks and drinks alone in our respective places. I know some people are right now, lots of people. But in the spirit of partying, let's take a moment to see what Chef Andy has prepared for tonight's dinner.
So I'm gonna make y'all some fried green tomatoes, but you won't be able to eat them. Just me. Just me. All right, step one, you go into your garden that's almost dead. Okay, here's a nice one. Whoop! First, you gotta slice the tomatoes. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, juicy too. Salt both sides now, y'all. Now you gotta combine some stuff. So we got a cup of all-purpose flour, tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. Then we got half a cup of panko breadcrumbs and a third a cup of cornmeal. Then we got an egg, little bit of half, and a tad bit of vinegar in here. Wee-wee. Now mix and combine. Now watch this shit. Order of operations. Fried green tomato. Goes in the flour. You gotta dredge it real nice like. Then dip it in the egg mixture. Don't be shy. Then panko breadcrumbs. Drop these bad boys in. Oh yeah. Gotta make the sauce, so we got a little bit under a cup of mayonnaise, because that's how much mayonnaise I had left. Got a quarter cup of some stone ground mustard, a tablespoon of Creole seasoning, half a tablespoon of chili paste, teaspoon of garlic powder. Oh, and don't forget the tablespoon of paprika. You're gonna mix those up, and it's gonna go on top. Oh yeah, a little dash of apple cider vinegar. Don't forget that. Serve them with this yummy sauce. Okay, all right. It's hot. It's a little hot. So,
I hadn't seen that yet, and that's really tough to follow.
I saw them.
I don't know if I can keep going. Awesome, thanks, Chef
You
Andy.
seriously need a show, honestly.
Yeah, lots of people in the chat saying that you should start a YouTube channel. So
Andy told me one time that if he started a restaurant, it would have no menu and the restaurant would be called Shut Up, You're Gonna Like It.
beautiful. All right, so and of course, now that we have beautiful fried green tomatoes, a party also wouldn't be complete without drinks of some kind. So Janie has put together a kind of, I guess you could call it a drinking game. It's not really like what you would do during a presidential debate or anything, but you can vote on your favorite drink, and whoever's team that drink belongs to, they get to introduce the next composer joining us tonight. So we'll show you all the drinks. Just type in the chat box your votes. We'll tally them up and let you know the winner in just a few moments. So let's see, I believe there's a slideshow. Janie, do you want to talk about the drinks, or does each person want to talk about the drinks respectively?
Sure, yeah. Give me a sec. I'm just trying to find out where this went. But yeah, hang on one sec. There we go. There we go. Okay, we got this. Chris.
Shout out to New Music Detroit for the t-shirt. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm supposed to tell you about my drink. This is the Child of Tree, named after the one and only piece by John Cage for amplified plant materials, a staple within the percussion repertoire, so it seems. And basically, it's a variation off of the aviation cocktail, beautiful gin cocktail. Instead of creme de violet, you actually use elderflower liqueur, St. Germain's. Same proportions as the aviation as well. And you garnish it with a little mint leaf. And as you drink the Child of Tree, that mint leaf gets in there and the flavor just keeps developing as you go. It's like a, never mind, long story short, great drink.
So Angel's Envy has been basically what got me through any hard time in life and any celebration, so I've always kind of splurged on it. But I went to go buy some, and within like a 50-mile radius, there's none in the St. Louis area. So I think everyone's coping with the existential dread right now. So instead I bought, I have Knob Creek. So it's, I also have a history with Knob Creek as well, so.
Hey guys. I think you all know this one. It's an old fashioned. Delicious. Even my cat likes it.
where do you get that picture? Simple rosé, you know, like $12 or less. And if a lot of times someone just leaves one in my fridge and I drink that one.
Yes, I'm drinking coffee right now, partly because it's 3:20 here on the West Coast, and partly because it's a time of day. But yes, coffee black, just like my soul. And that denim jacket, I'm almost wearing a Canadian tuxedo, but that denim jacket is in fact the property of Andy Hudson. The shirt is definitely mine, though.
I have that denim jacket right here. I am drinking an Imperial Stout, 2 North Carolina breweries, Newgrass and Brumari. This stout is 12.2%. I'm drinking the whole can during this meeting, so I'm going to only get more fun. It has lactose and yellow cake mix in the stout.
All right, so I guess everyone is drinking that right now. You're drinking your respective drinks as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
So cheers, everybody. And if you're drinking something different, cheers as well. But I don't think you're allowed to vote on something other than those 6 things. So put your favorite in the chat, and we'll tally up the votes. And like I said, whoever's team wins, whoever's drink wins, gets to introduce the next composer. So
No write-ins is going to ruin the election.
that's right. So while you vote, let's hear the first sound clip of the evening. Music by Chris Size. These were used to harm. All right, so obviously that was just a few minutes of what's a 20-minute piece. So go
Really
check it out.
lighthearted music for the evening.
Yeah, very yeah. So obviously, Chris, you were playing percussion there. Do you want to add anything about the music that we just listened to?
Yeah, sure. I kind of had this similar, um, kind of have a similar feeling of what is the sound that's piquing my speakers right now. It really started with the lovely sounds tonight. Yeah,
Mm.
so that's a piece I wrote. It's actually like my first piece for chamber ensemble, and the group gave me a chance to do that. As you probably heard, definitely has a lot of influences with my experience as like a heavy metal musician and harsh noise musician. So definitely tried to incorporate some of those experiences into the work itself. And when we performed it, we travel around with electronic rig, and inevitably something would go wrong every performance, but we would always pull it off, and it'd be super fun. It's a lot of fun to play, and as the kids have said, do say, it does indeed slap.
Did you always get the rebar through airport security, or did it ever get taken
No.
from
So like the first
No, definitely not.
Yeah, there's like a whole section at the beginning of this piece where the wind players and string players are scraping rebar, which is used in concrete reinforcement. And if you scrape it with a triangle beater and have it suspended, it's like a really beautiful shimmery sound. And my argument would be like, oh no, please airport security, this is an instrument, don't you get it? And they would say, no, this is a blunt object, I'm sorry, you have to go back and check it. Happened a couple times, but we tried.
Good to know.
Wife kind of left him once and said, "You're on your own. Good luck. See you on the other side."
True. I think that may have been in Dallas.
That's incredible. So, Chris, I want to kind of stick with talking to you for a minute. Obviously, it takes a lot more than just the musicians to bring an album like this to life. There's a whole team of folks involved behind the scenes. And we have some of them here with us tonight. So, Chris, would you mind introducing some of the team behind the project who happen to be with us?
Absolutely. So this was absolutely an enormous team effort. It couldn't obviously be done without the band itself, but I do want to talk about just how this album kind of came about. And it's really great because a lot of those people who were pretty integral to how this project came to be, they're here with us. It started actually with Kurt Doles at Bowling Green State University. He happened to book us for the Bowling Green New Music Festival, the 38th Bowling Green New Music Festival. I believe this was back in 2017. And the featured composers that year were Sarah Kirkland Snyder. And Sarah, you are definitely here, aren't you? Sarah? Is Sarah here? Maybe?
Here we go. Sorry, couldn't find the unmute. Hi.
Hey, Sarah. Where are you coming from?
Here. What's that?
Where are you coming from?
Princeton, New Jersey.
Awesome. So Sarah and her husband, Steve Mackey, were the composers in residence that year, and we ended up programming some of their music and some of the music by their students. And after what was an amazing festival, again, Kurt, wow, like superhero every time this year. And that festival is happening right now in a remote capacity. And after this festival, we kind of formed a relationship with Sarah, and we ended up talking about what would it be like to make a record and make a record that could exist on the New Amsterdam label. And so that was really exciting. And we had a selection of music at that point that we felt really strongly about with our composers. And we'll hear from the composers in a little bit. But back to the team that made this possible, an obvious first choice for a recording engineer was our one and only board member, Bill Malone. Bill, I wonder if you could say hi really quick.
Hey, Chris. Hey, everyone.
Hey, Bill. Where are you coming from?
In beautiful Tinley Park, Illinois.
Tinley Park, Illinois. So glad you're here, Bill, and thank you again for everything you've done.
We love you, Bill. You make us sound great.
It's you guys. It's all you guys.
Oh, stop it. So then we were thinking, we need a producer because, my goodness, the last album we self-produced, and that presents certain challenges that we thought maybe it would be better if we had someone else making certain decisions for us. So
I love watching Jason Page and Jake Woolen's face just like erupt in laughter over that. Yeah.
so many edits, so many late nights of talking about intonation and whatnot. So we asked Doug Perkins, and
As it
Doug
were.
is here. Doug, I wonder if you could say hi.
Hey everybody, congratulations. It's good to see all of you.
Doug, where are you coming from?
I'm coming from the northeast side of Ann Arbor, so I'm psyched. I always forget that Andy lives here. I need to find you somewhere.
So great.
You're looking great.
You're looking great. Nice shirt, by the way. And so then it was kind of like, okay, we got the session team together, and then we were thinking, okay, we need some sort of graphic designer to help us with the album art, and it happened to be Jason Page, who was our previous clarinetist, and happens to be an amazing graphic designer. Jason, if you could say hi really quick.
Hi, really quick.
Beautiful. Where are you coming from, Jason?
I'm up in Waukegan, Illinois, just north of Chicago.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here, buddy.
Of course.
And so the layout and the art design was done by Jason, and we're pretty happy with it. Furthermore, this could not be possible without Emily Cadman, who is New Amsterdam's label manager. And I wonder if, Emily, if you could just say hello.
Hey everyone.
Emily, where are you coming from?
I'm on Long Island in New York.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here, and thanks so much for helping us with everything throughout the process of getting the recordings together and getting this thing out into the world.
Of course, we're absolutely grateful to get to work with this music and with you guys. It was a real pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been an amazing process, and this album definitely was a milestone for us. Just through and through, the process was very organic, and everyone involved was just a thrill and a joy to work with.
I believe a little bit later on, we're going to get more behind the scenes looks at the recording sessions, which I'm sure will be really fun to check out. But before that, I think I haven't been tallying them, but I think we have all the votes and are ready to announce the winner to the team drinks game. So,
Chris, you got to speak. You just got to keep talking, Chris. Chris won. Child of Tree won.
Chris won.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Wow, round of applause.
Thank you, Mark, for being my only vote. Appreciate that.
All right, so Chris, you get to keep talking, and you get to introduce us to our composers and share the next clip from the album. So go for it.
Oh my gosh, well, here we go. Thanks for all the votes, everyone. It's a great drink. You should try it. So, the composers, my goodness, the composers. Let's see if I can do this in album order. First, we have Viet Quang. Viet, are you here?
Hello.
Hi, Viet. Where are you coming from?
Kennesaw, Georgia.
Awesome. So great you could be here with us. And
Oh,
so
it's
Viet
so fun.
Viet composed the title track of the album, Wax and Wire. And that was a piece we got to know, I guess, back in 2016 at the MGMC conference at the University of Chicago, where we met Viet and got to play that music. And super psyched that he let us. He'd made an arrangement for the sextet, and we got to put it on the album. And we felt so strongly we should make it the title track. Let's see. I think the next track on the album comes from the one and only Sarah Kirkland Snyder. Oh wait. No, I think I did this wrong. But anyways, we should talk about Sarah anyways, because Sarah actually has 2 tracks on the album. She has a trio for viola, clarinet, a bass clarinet, and marimba called Thread and Fray, and a full sextet piece called You Are Free. Sarah, thank you so much. Pieces are so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. I mean, if I may just say a quick word about what a thrill it was to discover your ensemble, because just to give you guys a little background, Steve and I showed up for this concert at Bowling Green, and we had not had a chance to rehearse with Latitude 49 or even speak with them about the music that they were going to play of ours. And so as composers, you tend to sort of like manage your expectations, you know, because you're not really sure how something's going to turn out. And Steve and I were just absolutely blown away by these performances. They were the best performances we'd heard of these pieces anywhere. And we just looked at each other and we're like, who are these people? Like, where did they come from? And how do they know each other? And why are they so good? And yeah, so I left that concert absolutely determined that we needed to make an album together. But it was just a complete embarrassment of, I don't know, fortune for you guys to say that you wanted to record 2 of my pieces. That was really an incredible honor. So thank you so much. This record is so special. It's such an incredible collection of pieces, given incredible performances, recorded really beautifully. I couldn't be prouder of it and happier for you guys. So congratulations.
Sarah, that means so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, oh yes, cue heart emojis. So other composers we have on this thing, we also have a work by Gabriella Smith, and this work is actually a work that we have known since 2012. Fun fact, Jeannie and I first saw this piece, I believe Eighth Blackbird was performing it, and none other than the one and only, Doug Perkins was playing percussion on that concert. It was back at, yeah, there he is, back at Chicago Museum for Contemporary Art, and we were just like, Jenny and I looked at each other like, what is this piece? And like crazy enough.
I actually played it with Nick Fatinos at Bang on the Can and kind of continued to fall in love with that piece. So it was sort of a progression. Thankfully, I had a lot of lead time on the piano part, which is good.
Yeah, so that's number 9 by Gabriella Smith. And to our surprise, when we were putting the repertoire for this album together, we learned that no one had actually made a commercial recording of it yet. And it was just like, what? How is this possible? It's so good, and it's been played so many times. So we were really psyched to make that first kind of I don't want to say definitive, but the first commercial recording. But I don't know. It sounds pretty freaking dope. So then we have music from, we said Viet, he composed Wax and Wire, and we have music from Annika Sokolovsky, and that is a work called A Sense of Who. Annika, are you with us?
No.
Oh, you little jerk.
Oh, man. Am I supposed to talk?
I mean, you can.
Not yet. You got to talk and play.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I'll handle this.
I'm not talking.
I got it. So Annika's piece, A Sense of Who, let's see. The first exposure I got to that piece was actually Annika was writing the percussion part for, I think it was a premiere at Bang on a Can, right? The festival?
Indeed.
Yeah, and you were like, I don't know what to do with this percussion part. Can I come over and we try some things out? And like, of course, the payment to like hang out and talk about weird percussion sounds was beer. And she bought me a beer from Unibrow, the Raftsman, great beer, Belgian triple, highly recommend.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, Annika, you just like.
Yeah, I mean, Fin du Monde is like that beer you can't have before like 7 p.m. So you got to start with Raftsman and then you move on to Fin du Monde.
Right. I think I may have even said like, hey, if you can find a Fin du Monde, that'd be great. But
I think that was as close as I got, but it was timely because we wrapped up around like 5 o'clock, so it was way too early for Fin du Monde.
good.
You know, Canadians might think differently.
That's true. I don't know. We have some Canadians here. Why don't we ask them?
It is a Canadian beer after all.
So then Annika was super awesome to make a version for us that we then toured around, I think in the years 2015 through 2016, 2017. And we thought like, this is such a beautiful piece. And her voice really shines on it. And it was a wonderful, wonderful piece to include on the album. Sorry, Janie's yelling at me through the wall. I'm getting it all right now.
Chris, are you gonna tell them what the nickname is for this piece?
No, I won't.
No.
You never should have told me.
We have to keep some secrets for the marriage.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Everyone can guess in chat.
Yeah, is there a prize for the winner?
Oh my gosh. So I think, did I already mention Wax and Wire, the title track? I think I did.
You did.
Yes.
Okay, just making
But-
sure. And
but
then, of
let's-
course,
oh,
I
go ahead.
composed a piece, and it's called "These Were Used to Harm," and it was an opportunity for me to compose for like a substantial chamber band, and ended up throwing a bunch of my influences as a heavy metal composer, drummer, and I think the piece definitely reflects that. I'm in a different place now as a composer.
Well, let's listen to more music. And speaking of Wax and Wire, let's preview a little bit of that, and then we'll talk a bit with Viet in just a moment. There's a question that I'm supposed to ask you, but people are going wild about the glissandi. So
There's a
I don't know
couple of those in this piece.
Yeah, just a few. Do you want to talk a little bit about how I know that the music was inspired by wax sculptures, and Michael Gard, I believe, is the artist. Do you want to talk about how all of that fits together, just really briefly?
Yeah. So this piece is it's inspired by these sculptures I saw by this artist named Michael Gard, who carves like sculptures out of wax and then weaves wax around, or weaves wire around the wax, and then melts out the wax to leave just the wire sculpture. So it's kind of inspired by that and not just the art itself, but the process behind making it. So I kind of equate all these glissandi and things to melting wax. And also kind of when you think of both wax and wire, they're like rigid, but also soft at the same time. So I think of like a glissando is super, what's the word, malleable. And then like a piano chromatic scale is more rigid. And then so the piece uses a lot of kind of, I think of it like auto-tuning a chromatic scale by filling in the chromatic notes on the piano with quarter tones and then like putting all these glissandi on top of that. So it makes these kind of smeary sort of glissandi things. And the original version of this piece was just clarinet, violin, cello, and piano. And so adding a soprano sax, I could actually have like all of the quarter tones. So they hawk it back and forth like every quarter tone in these scales, which was really cool to do. So this is my favorite version of the piece, I'd say.
Well, I think you might have just answered my next question, which Chris touched on this original version for clarinet, violin, cello, and piano. You just mentioned it. What kind of evolution, other than just adding the instruments, did the piece kind of go through when you made this sextet version?
Well, it was, I mean, actually, like the original version for the quartet was actually only like 4 minutes long. So there was like, and then there was like a second version of that, which then turned it into like the 7-minute piece. And then adding these instruments, like it changes everything when you can add percussion, especially to something. The energy changes, and I have to say, like, again, like having, because if I wanted, like, ideally for the clarinet part to have every single quarter tone filling in the chromatic scales, but as every clarinetist here in this chat would say, that would be like evil. So I didn't do that. So, but then having the soprano saxes, you get like the best of both worlds, and having the color change between the two, and it's recorded so beautifully where you can really hear all this stuff. So thank you everyone who is a part of this, and I couldn't be more happy with the way it turned out, and I'm honored to be on it.
Yeah, definitely check out the full piece on the album if you haven't already, because it's awesome. It's more than just glissandi.
Yeah.
So
and this was the first piece where I kind of like have explored the more like playful and whimsical side of myself and my music, and something I still do now. So this piece means a lot to me. So having recorded this well is amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Before we move on to the slideshow, there were a lot of questions about the cocktail that won. So Chris, I don't know if you want to address this in the chat, but people were asking for the recipe. So yeah.
I'll dump it in the chat.
Awesome. So I'm going to hand it over to Jamie now to kind of show off some behind the scenes, well, I guess scenes from the recording sessions.
So please forgive me. I tried to upload this, and in a typical, maybe composers can reckon with me, in a typical fashion, it was taking like 18 hours to upload. So you're getting a version of it. I'm sorry that was so compressed. Bill, forgive me forever.
Is there a place people can check that out online?
Yes, we will post it.
Cool. So I know how recording sessions go, especially when it's like a whole album. And we could probably spend a whole hour and a half talking about the recording sessions. But Tim and Max, I'm wondering if you could share probably briefly just a few maybe anecdotes or stories from the session.
Sure, I'd love to say some things. It's great to see so many like positive, awesome memories. And I want to preface before I continue with anything that I say that I love these people so much. Okay, like they mean so much to me. They're some of my best friends. I'm really lucky to be involved in this ensemble. I love everyone here. But when you're like 6 people, which is a lot of people, usually all staying in the same apartment together for a recording session, tensions generally start to arise, and it's more than just like lining up for the bathroom, like 6 people in a row every day for 3 days straight or something like that. But there's always been moments where you can see like the mental stability of the ensemble break down. And I noticed that from the very first, my trial with Latitude 49, when we were just rehearsing a lot of hocketing is what was going on, and we kept falling apart. And this time was when the first time I saw Tim Steeves, who I know from my undergrad and everything, I played with him many times, but when he kicked the chair straight into the wall, and I thought like everyone's instruments had smashed and everything. It was the loudest sound I had heard thus far in the rehearsals. And for some reason I thought, I gotta join this ensemble.
Max saw like incidents like that and was like, oh yes, I want to continue hanging out with Tim Steeves. I need to make music with Tim. No, absolutely. No, tensions can run high. Like sometimes you'll be recording a piece and it might not be going well. Sometimes Doug might be trolling Chris during the entire session, and sometimes Tim Steeves might need to leave and get ice cream because, well, because you just have to. Because you have to.
Doesn't tell anyone where he's going, and then we found out later he went for ice cream.
I thought Tim had like quit the band entirely, and it turned out he was just getting ice cream. It was
Stood
the most
up and
wholesome
walked
thing
out,
on
and
the
then he
planet.
came back with this like ice cream cup that was almost empty with the sample spoon still in it. And then he was just downright lovely for the rest of the day.
It is a pretty special moment when the producer says to you, Chris, don't worry, we're going to re-record all of the marimba takes in my home studio with my marimba.
And then he'd say, Chris, don't worry, the real percussionist is coming at 5, so we'll be good.
Yeah.
So
I remember like we were just listening to Wax and Wire, which was one of the most fun sessions for me. That piece in particular, because it's just like a blast to play for everyone. The textures are really interesting, and I love blending with everyone for it. There's so many times I haven't told everyone in this ensemble actually, so this might be news to them. But we broke down quite a few times for my own mistakes, and in that recording session, and it was often just because I couldn't keep a straight face when Andy Hall did this damn slap tongue, like right at the perfect moment, and he always looked at me afterwards. And I would laugh in concerts and everything like that, but in the recording session, I would like lose my train of thought entirely. And I would see he knew this, so then he would stare at me leading up to the moment every time, and I would lose it before he even made a sound. I had to like cover my face with my cello, and so that's why that happened, guys. I just want you to know that.
Andy Hall definitely has blown me a kiss after more than one slap tongue, when he can tell that I'm impressed.
He's also spent like 30 minutes plus discussing slap tongue with Shulamit Ron in our living room.
That is an exaggerated story.
No, it's not.
That's an accurate story.
Okay, 28.5 minutes.
I would like to send some praise. Something that has not been mentioned is that Andy Hudson deserves some praise, because many tracks in this album he did not play with us until we recorded this album. Andy was a quite new recruit by the summer we were recording this. And he was like, well, I know the piece now.
He came in, he laid it down, he shredded, he destroyed.
I'm trying to think if there. No, I think I've performed them all now. I think. Yeah, I think.
We'll come back.
Can I give quick credit? I don't know. Maybe we'll do this later, but I just want to mention it was fun to step into Jason Page's shoes as the clarinetist, but I just want to give incredible props to Jason for the cover of this album is just dazzling.
It is.
It's just so spectacular. And Jason, your design is just amazing. So thank you.
Well, thank Darius Hulea. He does this amazing wire work, and I follow him on Instagram now, and he's really a talented sculptor.
Awesome. Well, Tim, since you were the one that lost your mind during Thread and Fray, and that's when the ice cream thing happened, like all I know about that session was that Janie and I were in the side room, just like we could sense that negativity was starting to form, but we didn't quite know what was happening. We were just enjoying some Andy cooking because we were done for the day. We might have already been drinking. I don't even know. So, Tim, do you want to introduce the piece?
Oh, am I introducing Thread and Fray?
Yes.
Okay. This is a piece for viola, bass clarinet, and marimba. It was a short piece that Sarah wrote a couple years ago for at the Aspen Music Festival. It's a wonderful piece full of canons and imitations, and one of the great things about the texture, what it also makes it very hard to perform, is that there's so much unison. So there's all these canons happening, which made it problematic for metric articulation, intonation, and phrasing. But you get all these wonderful polyphonic textures moving out of it, and it's a quite moving and beautiful little piece.
That's such a beautiful trio of instruments. Sarah was here earlier, and she unfortunately had to go, but I'm glad that she got to pop in for a few minutes earlier and talk about her involvement with the album. We're only listening through clips for now of tracks from Wax and Wire, but if you haven't already, of course, check out the entire album and listen to it, the full thing, because it's so worth the time. Speaking of which, we're going to play a little bit of trivia now concerning the album. So if you happen to have it sitting around or pulled up on the internet like I do right now, please don't look at it to answer the trivia. We will know maybe. This is about Annika's piece, Annika Sokolovsky's track, A Sense of Who, which is timed with a backtrack instead of a suggested metronome time. So the performance is always the same length, whether it's recorded on the album or live. So without looking up the album, what is your guess, people here, on the exact length of the piece? Annika, I don't think you can chime in here. The closest guest will receive some complimentary swag, including a limited edition T-shirt and album to keep or share. So I guess just drop that in the chat, I have the time, so I'll let you know who wins.
I should clarify, are we doing closest on either side, or are we doing Price is Right rules?
Very important.
Is this my decision?
Make the call.
Price is Right rules.
Price is Right rules, okay.
So you can't go over the time. All All right, so Annika, you're here with us on the Zoom, and rather than playing a sample of your piece from the CD, I've been told that you will play a little fiddle for us. So
Yeah,
whenever
they did say that, didn't they?
that's what they told me.
Yeah, behind curtain number 1, I have my fiddle.
Yay!
Yes, Annika.
I'm gonna play 3 tunes. Don't worry, it won't take too long. So I guess I should maybe contextualize fiddle in the piece and talk about the thing that we're all here for. So yeah, the piece, A Sense of Who, I actually recorded my composition teacher at the time and dear friend and fellow fiddler Evan Chambers, who's also an incredible singer. And he really got me off the fiddling deep end, for sure. We would, in our composition lessons, he would book me last, and we'd do composition for an hour, and then we'd fiddle for an hour, which was always the highlight of the week for me. And yeah, so I got to incorporate Evan into the piece, and Latitude wrapped their warm, loving arms around his voice and recording. And yeah, like Andy, this is an excellent demonstration. Thank you, Andy. I can feel it all the way over here. So yeah, so it's appropriate that I would fiddle. So I'm gonna play a waltz that I wrote for my late grandmother, and then I'm gonna play 2 Scottish tunes. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna turn off my sound here. All right. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Awesome.
thank you, Annika. So I don't mean to put you on the spot here. I'm putting myself on the spot too because I'm working from my memory. I'm familiar with your piece on this album, but also the piece that you composed, Parhelion Trio, and that features a recording of you playing like a special fiddle. Is that the same instrument? That's not an ordinary fiddle, is it? As we would know it here.
No, it's not. So, normal. Okay, wait, I can do a side by side here. Hold on. Oh. All right. This is a normal fiddle. Count the pegs. 4 of them. This is my fiddle. Count the pegs. It's 10 of them. So, yeah, so a normal fiddle, it has 4 strings. This one has 10, and it's got 5 that you bow and 5 that ring sympathetically underneath. You can see them there. So I can, and this, and then I can get these ones ringing. They're down there. And so as I play the top strings, I never touch the bottom strings, but as I play the top strings, these ones just kind of ring and create a texture, a beautiful resonance. And yeah, my piece for Parhelion, I was kind of, what happens if I took this feeling, because when I play it, it's ringing through my jaw and it goes right into my ear. I hear it really loudly. And so I thought, well, I wish everyone could, experience what I experience when I'm playing this. And that was kind of my thought there, was like, I can extend that into the ensemble and into the group, which is not dissimilar to what I did with the vocal part in A Sense of Who for this album.
Yeah, that's absolutely stunning. So I guess did anyone else want to guess the time of Annika's piece? We have a few answers from a handful of people. Or we could do Janie, do you want to announce a winner? Because there's a couple answers that might be considered winners.
Yes, it's true. So again, the question is, what's your best guess of the length of Annika's piece on the album? Not the fiddle tune you just heard, but the length of Annika's piece on the album. Since it is a fixed track, it's always exactly the same length of time. So we've got a few people who voted, but come on, people. Like, I know you have drinks in your hand, but we can multitask. We're musicians here. We have 2 people that are very close. And unless I see any additional additions to to the chat, I think we'll call it a split tie.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1. Oh, one new message. Annika. So the co-winners of this game are Roberta and Lynn. Hooray, at 6 minutes. And Spencer Arias, who also guessed 6 minutes. The track is 6 minutes and 6 seconds. So you are exactly 6 seconds off. But actually, that's pretty darn good. 6:06, exactly.
All right, see Janie to collect your prize.
I know who you are. I'll find you.
Awesome. So finally tonight, here to tell us what's about to happen in the immediate future with Latitude 49 is Andy Hudson and Max Geisler. And I'm sure this coming season will look, if not a little bit different, probably extremely different as far as we know. So what's coming up?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about some things that are coming actually really soon. I think this summer was hard on everyone because of the separation that everybody had, and we were kind of missing a lot of our contacts, not just with each other, but with all the composers that we work with. And I know many composers personally that didn't get the chance to work with people the way they normally do, and it's been hard on everyone, all of this. And so we started this Bagatelle project that was really an idea kind of birthed of Scott McAllister and all of us together. And this idea involves short 1-minute pieces while commissioning 36 composers. So we get everyone to collaborate. Each individual person in the ensemble gets to collaborate with 6 composers on solo pieces. And not only do we get to reach out with 36 different composers and make connections in that way, but we also wanted to make a difference in terms of what was going on this summer in terms of all the racial injustice and everything. So all of the proceeds of this performance that we're going to give, this live stream event, are going to go towards the Coalition of African American Musicians. And we're going to have 2 live stream performances of all 36 pieces in January 15th and January 29th. And then we're going to assemble it into a professionally produced album with Bill Malone. And that is going to go up on Bandcamp, which will also, those proceeds will continue to go towards the fundraiser. So that's something that we're really excited about. And I'm just excited to be in communication with people, already such exciting ideas, because everyone copes with the situation so dramatically differently. So now we get a chance to hear so many different perspectives on this. We gave no other guidance. We didn't say, like, use this as a little theme, or like the theme is humanity or anything. No, we really wanted everyone to bring their own thing to it. So already I'm seeing so many dramatic different things, and I'm super excited to see what comes of all of that. And even sooner than that, we're giving short seminars based on our instruments, on writing for our instruments. So we split into 3 different pairs, kind of how the ensemble's formed anyway. Of the 2 strings, me and Tim are going to give a presentation on writing for string instruments. We're going to invite some composers and have a discussion on harmonics probably for the entire time. And that's going to be, let me just make sure I get the date right for that.
And scratch tone.
Oh yeah, when we do the scratch tone.
Yeah, and punch jazz. That's get all the techniques in there, Max.
That's going to be November 17th, and all of these are going to be at 7 p.m. Central Time. The team Andi, the 2 Andys in our ensemble, the wind players, are going to be October 29th, so you can listen to descriptions of Slap Tongue for an hour and a half, or if you really want to bring yourself to that. I'm kidding, it's going to be fantastic.
Exaggeration.
Yeah, 45 minutes max.
And then we've got our fixed pitch duo, the Fixed Pitches, December 10th, and that's Janie and Chris. So I think those are going to be really fun events, and anyone's welcome of all expertise and everything like that. I think the composers will have a lot of good things to say, and we'll do some demonstrations, things like that. So that's just immediate stuff. It's the Bagatelle Project and the seminars.
And then we have some longer term things that are coming up. We're looking forward to premiering new pieces. One thing we've been working on recently, we have a new piece from Andrew McManus that's just incredible, called RS. Yeah, Andrew's with us. Hey.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Yeah. They're incredible.
Oh, you're incredible. We have this incredible piece, RS Neurosonics 3A is the subtitle, and we're working right now on putting together a recording kind of promo for the opening part of the piece, and then we're looking forward to premiering that incredible full piece. We got a grant last year for a new piece by Giti Razaz, which we're really excited about. That's coming up as a premiere. Another piece by Evan Ware, Checking Out, is coming up, which is also a grant piece. And then we've commissioned Ken Thompson from Bang on a Can fame to also write us a new piece coming soon. Recently, we found out we got 3rd prize in a competition. Competing is not a thing we've done, at least in my time in the group, but this year it felt like we had a project we were really passionate about. And so the Aerial Artists Impact Performance Competition gave you a chance to create a program and pitch it to them, and it needed to engage with certain themes, and so we were really excited to present a program that included a program called Don't Say a Word that featured music by Annika Sokolovsky. Annika's written an incredible song cycle over the last few years that there's a version of for us, and she sings in incredible fashion in that piece. And then that would also include the piece by Giti Razaz, and then a new work by composer Shelley Washington. And so we're super excited about that project whenever it gets to come to pass. We've been looking forward to making that happen. And then we've got some recordings we're lining, in addition to the Bagatelles recording, which Max mentioned is going to be put out on Bandcamp, and all those proceeds forever are going to support the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts. We've laid the groundwork for our next large-scale album. We have sort of 2 projects we're working toward. One is to record this song cycle with Annika in the future, and then another is a double album project where each sort of side of the album is going to have a different theme. And so we've been laying the groundwork for that recording project as well, trying to view this time where we can't be with you in person as a time of sort of focusing and really clarifying, like, what do we care most about and how do we want to seek to bring that into the world. So it's been a good chance for us to reflect and to really decide, like, where do we want to spend our time. And so hopefully looking ahead, like, you know, in the fall, we'll be able to hit the ground running and really share so much of this amazing music with you. We'd hoped to share with you this year and even last spring, but I guess we have to wait a little longer to be together. But we're gonna hopefully, like Max said, have a lot of events online where we can connect with you and with everybody in this incredible community. It's just such a gift to have you all here tonight. I mean, I'm so blown away when I look around like this screen and all these incredible people together. So yeah, just thank you for being part of our family. Like, this group means so much to me. I feel like I'm really part of a family that cares for me as a person, in addition to cares about making great music. So it's really special to be with you all. So thanks for being with us. And you can keep up with us online. We're trying to let you know what we're doing, but that's the future stuff.
Awesome. And I guess Janie, I'll pass it over to you for the kind of final thoughts and final words.
Yeah, thanks. And I want to say a huge thanks to you, Tyler. This event was so smooth and so awesome to have you on it. It saved me a lot of stress, and it was just really great to have your energy and, of course, your warm voice and warm presence with us today. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this project was really a product of so many people. So it's hard to really say, like, okay, it's just, you know, Team Latitude, because honestly, the way we think about it, sort of harkening back to what Jake was saying about what Latitude does, we really think of ourselves as a family. And all of you are our extended family. And so, you know, all the composers on the project, the people involved, even down to the people who donated to make this happen, the people involved in simply just like participating in the process with us and being friends along the way. It really, I think more than ever, we realize how much we need community right now, and how much we need big fluffy kitty cats, and how much of our world has changed in a way. So we're very thankful to share this with you, and for the composers. I mean, I'm seeing so many people on the call, and it just like totally warms my heart to see people all along the way that have helped us, composers and musicians and friends, and we love you guys very, very much. So thank you. This is not just our success, but we really think of it as everyone, you know, we were really looking forward to celebrating this all with you. So thank you for being part of this evening. And I hope if you don't have the chance yet, you can, of course, check out the album. I'm actually just going to drop it in the chat. And you can listen to it for free on Bandcamp. I think there's a select number of listens, and then they ask you to purchase and download and that kind of stuff. So please feel free to check it out, spread the good news. And I just love you guys. Thanks for being here.
Love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
And if you want, we're at 6:25. I can't believe it. We're never on time. We're always a little bit crazy. John, so great to have you here with us. John Bierbase, seeing people in the chat. Keha, nice to see you. Mark, we love you.
Hi, Mom.
Bruno, so thankful for your support. Appreciate it. Amy, we love ya. We'll see you in a half an hour for our next concert. Susan, so good to have you here from Chamber Music America. This is the organization that sponsored the commission with Giti Razaz. So it's just like really, really cool to see everybody here. And we're very thankful. Hope you all have a great evening. If you're interested, the Latitude crew will stick around on the call a little bit, and you're welcome to hang with us. Like I said, it's all a family. So all are welcome in the circle, as long as you aren't upset by, you know, Andy's beard or, you know, Max's bow changes. You just have to deal with it sometimes. But thank you for being here.
Love y'all. I need more
Thank you
beer.
so much for being here.
It's amazing seeing everyone here. This is such a positive event. I really needed this. This was great.
See, this is a good thing in 2020. We found one. Everybody vote. Be sure you vote. Please vote.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Ronaldo,
Hey,
so good to
Ronaldo.
see you. Oh my gosh, you got to hold up your baby. I need to see this baby.
This is little Sia now. She's falling asleep.
Oh,
And
what a
Oh my
darling.
gosh.
I'm about to make a bird. And you probably saw Leo just like,
Oh, she's so darling.
dinner there. So good to see everybody. Congratulations on a great album.
Thank you. Yeah, great to have you here. And it was really awesome to have your piece on your own album come out. Like this year was just like the
Ronaldo,
year of recording.
congratulations. That album is so beautiful. Congratulations.
Such a great experience. So let's do it again soon.
Yeah, would love that.
All right, I'm
Hey,
gonna
Jerry.
go in here. Great event. Thanks for the invite. Congrats.
Yeah, Jury, you got to unmute yourself. I want to hear that.
That's my symbol.
Hostage here.
Oh my
I just wanna
gosh,
sleep under that
Dimple, you
marimba.
found it.
What's the ransom?
Your cat.
Oh no, you can't have him.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know, that cat, I can't take it. I think it's worth it. Worth it, Janie.
I mean, how would Roman get along with Sanu? I want to see that interaction.
Well,
Oh, Sanu would pummel Roman. Like, I hate to say it, but it would be game over.
Chris, how old is that symbol?
That symbol?
Is that from way back?
That is the 16-inch dark custom K crash. Not that old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not from the early days.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
I love how you just keep waving it, Jury. You're like, here it is.
Oh my gosh, I've needed it.
So
Wait,
for
is
everyone
Mark still
who
here?
doesn't
Nell
know,
it.
Chris
That's
forgot
the
a symbol at Jury's.
Nell it. That's the symbol I need for your piece, and Jury has it.
I expected more of like a ransom note with like newspaper clippings all cut out and sent to Chris.
Guys, that was awesome. I'm going to take off. I love you guys.
Oh, we love you
Hey.
too, Mark.
Mark, we love you. We miss you so much.
I know.
Me and the girls, we say hi.
Likewise.
Y'all, it is. I drank an entire can of 12.5-ounce stout, so I'm gonna go build a fire and put on my warmest socks.
Like the Canadian in
50
me is
degrees.
like you building a fire. Like there's something very special about that. I think that's.
And I chopped the wood myself. Is that Henry Ford, right? The man who chops his own wood warms himself twice. That's how it feels. I was warm earlier. Gonna be warm now. Just gonna get under a blanket and deal with this horrible.
I mean, between that toque and that plaid shirt, you're like really rocking the Canadian lumberjack look.
Guys, it's gonna be 53 tonight. You know. I'm really-
Get out of here.
I think we're
It's
still
going to be like 25 in
We got
Chicago.
lows of 55 down here.
I got soft. I've been gone like 2.5 years from Chicago, and I'm already like totally never want to be cold again.
Bill's like, yep, I get it. Bill, we need a
I
story.
don't want to
from
be
you.
I don't ever want to be cold, and I'm stuck here. So you're better off than I am.
You come visit anytime, Bill. I'll build you a big fire.
Oh, big fire sounds good. It's 45 here right now.
Oh, you need it. You need it.
Need it.
Roman. Hi, Roman. Hi, Roman. Roman.
Hey, Roman. You remember Max? That guy over there?
Hi, Roman.
Guys,
Oh.
I have to see if I can find this photo. I almost wanted to put it on the photo thing. It was of Max and Roman.
Oh, we had some moments. I miss Roman.
Oh yeah.
I miss sleeping underneath that marimba. I got like really hungry. That was a perfect.
I have a really funny video of Roman.
Oh no, staying private.
Yeah, that is not for this event.
It's my baby.
I can screen share if we.
No,
Oh no,
not safe,
no,
not
no.
safe for work. Hashtag.
No, it's definitely not safe for work. And you
Well,
would
I'm
shame
gonna
Roman
go.
forever. Roman would never be president.
Thank you
Thanks
guys.
for coming, Mom.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll see you later, okay? Congratulations. Love you guys.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Carl, thanks for coming, man. Love the beard and the mustache. You look so good.
It just keeps getting hairier out here.
Are you in New York still?
Yeah, I went to Seattle for a bit, but I've been back in New York since September.
Okay, cool. Man, I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no problem. I got some things I want to talk to you guys about at some point.
Perfect. Man, we love it.
And I love everything that I heard and saw tonight, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Cool, man. Thanks
Thanks,
for dropping in.
Carl. So great to see you.
You guys too.
Andrew Kohler, I hear your voice at 7:30 a.m. What's going on?
Yes.
Historiography, baby. That's what's
For those
Yeah,
who don't know,
bibliography.
there is a bibliography class that starts at 7:30 a.m. and
Well-
I hear Andrew Kohler's voice as I'm pouring my coffee, and I'm like, where am I right now?
Yes, well, it's 8:30 for us, but for most of us. But Chris is I think you're one of like 4 people on Central Time, and then we have someone in China.
We do. We have someone on the direct opposite.
Yeah, 12 hours.
Yeah.
So the time, she's the only person for whom the timing works out really well. I think she said her other class is at like 1, so
In the morning, right? My goodness.
this sounds awful.
Wow. Who else? Spencer, we haven't heard from you. Hey, Spencer.
Hey, this was really fun. There's like a lot of people that I know from various other random places, so that was really fun. It's nice to see you, Tyler. I haven't seen you since Seattle. Say hi to Susanna for me.
Yeah, she was tuned in the room above me. So yeah, we were dual zooming, so which we do frequently. So
Bandwidth must be insane.
And about 5 people who've been on my show, so that was fun. That were in this call as well, so that was fun. And people who have talked to you about that. So, and I was laughing at Chris's rebar story because I know he brought a rebar to Seattle for my piece, but that he had to check.
Totally.
Like,
yeah,
you guys, okay, let me just walk you through this scenario. We walk into the airport, and there are backpacks of gear that I know are going to set off alarms. It's not like one thing. It's like, it's so phenomenal. Like, we're in a small group here. It is fucking nuts. Okay. It's crazy. So we get to security, and always I'm like, keep it cool. I gotta like have a coffee before I get there. Like, I need to make sure I'm in a good place to mentally deal with like what's about to go down, which happens almost every time, which is that Chris in his, I love him. He's now unpacking his backpack. That's exactly what happens for like 20 minutes. It's just like, it is like something out of a Mr. Bean show. There's so much stuff coming out of that backpack. And somehow it all gets through except like one thing, which is like, oh, this like metal guitar pick. Like, there are like rows of electronic instruments, and somehow none of that is problematic. And then there's like one item that someone's like, yeah, sorry, you're going to have to leave that behind. And then it's like the post stress of like, okay, how do we deal with this? So that's travel with Chris Size.
Well, if you want to like the good thing to do is to leave your instruments wherever you go, jury. And then that way, when you go back, your instruments are there.
Well, I mean, I did ask you for a bicycle. I asked you for a bicycle wheel in my piece. Unfortunately, I was able to provide said bicycle wheel.
Oh my God, the bicycle wheel was choice.
Yeah, I provided it. So
I want to hear from Jury. What are your thoughts, Jury, with all this madness?
What madness specifically? Traveling?
So many, so much.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You married a percussionist. We're both in the same boat.
Yeah, although I don't think
I see
so
you.
much.
You told me to quit being a mess one time, and that was all.
Unrelated to the percussion.
Right. Just being slow.
So fun.
Mark, it's time. We got to let some of these instruments go. We got to let them go.
That one could stay here. I'll treat it nicely.
Ugh, I kind of do need it.
Yeah. Where do you need it by? I was gonna have it picked up on Monday, maybe.
Okay, that sounds
That
really
work?
great. Yeah, I saw you emailed me like a week ago. I'm sorry, I
I
missed it.
know. Yeah. So it's on you, actually.
It is. My
So
brain is falling out.
before we leave this call, Bill, I need a recording studio story from you. It just always gives my heart a little glow because for whatever chaos we as musicians go through, you as a sound engineer have to grapple with so many more elements of chaos in your life.
Yeah, I think that might be true, but it becomes so routine. It's something you expect. Recording studio story. Well, my last recording studio experience was in January, believe it or not. It's been quite a while. Working with Third Coast Percussion, recording what I hope is their next Grammy winner. And actually, it went very well. Didn't have any real serious problems. I guess the biggest issue with that right now is I'm trying to get everybody back together to mix the thing. I want everybody to be in the same room at the same time, listening in the same environment, because not doing it that way opens it up for too many rounds of fixing things that shouldn't have been changed in the first place. And it's just a mess. It's trying to get people. A couple of people have to travel, and just to get that kind of thing together these days is almost impossible. And you wouldn't think it would be as hard as it is, but it's pretty tricky. So other than that, nothing too interesting. I did a piano trio set of sessions in July where everything was supposed to have been set to work in one of the nice halls at DePaul. And everything was fine, except nobody told us that the COVID police at DePaul decided that they needed to turn the HVAC up as high as it would go to keep the air moving in the building, and they weren't about to turn it down for anybody. So I have a piano trio recording that sounds like it has Niagara Falls in the background, so that'll be fun to fix. But nothing much else going on now, really. You know how it is.
So you haven't had any sessions where the piano went missing in the middle of the performance cycle or anything like that?
No, that's never happened to us.
I didn't have any where the piano went missing. I did have a set of sessions a long time ago in a giant hall in Bratislava where the piano got pushed off the front of the stage. And
you definitely kept that in the recording, right?
But at least you knew where it was, right?
It happened, it was funny. We got in there and there was somebody making a piano recording. And the piano was on the main floor. And we were sort of wondering why that was. And we found out that the piano got rolled off the stage. And nobody associated with the hall was too interested in helping us put it back, because we were doing a piano concerto, so we kind of needed it up with the orchestra. That was the only Steinway they had. They rolled out a Petrov, which sounded okay, but the action was very heavy. This was a John LaMontagne piece, which had a lot of repeated notes and needed, the dexterity of the pianist was definitely being tested. So about a dozen orchestra members and Jim Ginsburg and I actually picked up the Steinway and put it back on the stage so we could actually do our session. So
Wow.
Sometimes it gets fun. Yeah.
That's epic.
Literally, it was my job to rent Steinways to people for this purpose. So that I cringed a little bit just now.
You know, we actually we end up renting D's quite a bit when we work in halls where there isn't one, or I mean, we had a project where we needed two, and I was surprised that they send two guys to move the piano. Like it's it's on a dolly and it's just two guys, and they know what they're doing. I mean, the things come in and somehow nobody gets killed. So it's pretty impressive the way they do that.
Yeah, if there's anything to spend money on, it's professional piano movers.
Oh,
Honestly,
absolutely.
do not try to do that by yourself. It's like that and car mechanic, like just don't.
Well, the car mechanic stuff I do myself, so.
Well, that's
I don't know.
impressive.
I haven't learned my lesson yet. But the piano movers can be a bit expensive if it's coming from a distance, because for the Third Coast percussion sessions at CRC, we actually were planning on using Dan Nichols' 10-foot Fazioli. And the only problem was it was more expensive to move that from DeKalb to downtown than it was to have Steinway bring a piano over. So we ended up going the slightly cheaper route, but it's fine because the Steinway sounded great. But
the 10-foot Fazioli, I just have to just stare off into the distance for a moment. Yeah. I have played that piano a couple times and it is pretty life altering. Like I actually had to stop because I was like, if I play this for any longer, it's going to ruin every other piano, which is like 99.9% of every piano. Like it is just such an amazing instrument.
I saw one at Pianoforte.
That's the one I played.
Okay. Yeah. And I have no idea.
It looks like oak all around
Yep.
the inside. You look at it and it's stunning, and then you play it and you're like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
I
quite a
literally
thing.
worked in a room full of Steinway Ds for 3 years and played Steinway D exclusively for 3 years. I really miss it. I really do.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. And fortunately, most halls have at least one. A lot of halls have two. So we do get spoiled. But when there isn't one, we just call the pros. So.
Well, it was nice to see you. I have to run, but it was so nice to be here. It was
Hey,
nice to-
Spencer, thanks for being here.
I'll see you Monday, Andy.
Yep.
Thanks.
See you, Spencer.
So, I mean, we're definitely done our official hang. So I'm happy to just. I mean, it's been an hour and some. So if you guys are okay, we'll maybe just round it out with a final farewell.
Thank you, Tyler, so much.
Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah,
Thanks for everyone for being here.
My pleasure.
You know,
it was an honor.
It really is the next best thing to doing it in person. I mean, it was great, and it was nice to see. I mean, we had 49 people on here at the peak, I think. So that was, yeah. I mean, it's still a great album. I still every once in a while just listen to a couple of tracks.
That's a really good point from Andrew Samuel Kohler. We got so many Andrews right now.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting, I have to say. So many of us in one place. Well, virtual place.
I can't believe this call hasn't been like broken or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that? Technology, huh?
Well, that was a lot of fun, you guys.
I hope I get to hang out with everyone in person sometime soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Maybe in another
Person.
5 years. Yeah.
It's great to see you guys. If you have any, well, we'll be in touch about the audio and video and everything. But I'm excited. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody.
Awesome.
I'm
Bye,
glad.
everyone.
Good night,
Hey.
everyone.
Bye.
Everyone,
Great job,
take care.
everybody. Love
night.
you all.
Bye.